Alright, so we're back on the car. If you watched the last video, we kind of ended off with trying to need to figure out the intercooler and radiator support. So I'll show you that here in a minute. It's been super hot this week, but just got an afternoon rainstorm, so it cooled it off by like 10 degrees. So I figured I'd hop out in the garage after work and see if I can get these things made up. So let me show you what we got going on and we'll get at it. Alright, so it's kind of hard to get in the video frame. It's so close, but here's the intercooler. What I want to do is I want to support the bottom and then come off of that probably and support the bottom of the radiator. So my plan is, this is an old piece. I'm going to make this out of 1 inch. But if I come off right here, off this bar, it's pretty much almost the right height. I'll have to tilt it a little bit. And then I can get to this bottom mount over here. And then on this side, I can do it 90 also, but I'll have it up and it'll come to this crossbar. Man, it's hard to see, but it'll come to this crossbar. And then once we get the intercooler mounted up, we'll figure out what we're going to do with the radiator. Because if you look, the radiator's sitting pretty low right there. So I'm probably going to try to raise it up an inch or so, maybe 2, just to get a little more ground clearance. Because that's going to be low to the ground. So I think I'll come up a couple of inches. We'll have to see because it gets really close with the fan mount, you know, in the hot side. So that'll be my limiting factor on how high I can come up. So this will be kind of fun. When I got my bender, I bent the one tube and then kind of never used it again. So it's kind of a waste of money, to be honest with you. But I did, when I bought it, I got the 1 5/8 and the 1 inch die. So we're going to swap out the 1 inch die and bend up some 90s and go do some test fitting. Alright, so we got the 1 inch die put on. Surprisingly wasn't that bad. I hadn't changed it before. It's pretty intuitive, so it wasn't bad to do. So let me go get a piece of pipe and we'll bend a 90 in it. Alright, so we got it outside in the garage. I got a little piece of pipe in it, fixing to do some bending. So we got our first piece bent to a 90. So let me go grab some pliers and get it out, and then we'll go see how it fits in the car. So I got my 2 intercooler brackets bent up. The little bender does pretty good. It makes a nice bend, but the plan, let me see if I can show you. It's kind of hard, it's so tight in here, but so we got the intercooler mount right here. So we'll have this guy like so, and then we'll just grind him so I can weld him right there. So that'll hold that one, and same kind of deal on this one. Except, so kind of same deal. It'll go to the mount and then it'll just go to the larger tube here. So I'll get these holes drilled and then we'll grind a notch in here so it fits on the tube good, and then we'll get it welded on, and then we'll move on to the radiator mount and try to get that sorted. Alright, so we got this passenger side one bolted in. You can see where she goes down there. Fits pretty good. There's a little gap on the back, but I can feel it. So hope it'll be alright. So there's that one. I got this one on. Still got to do some more trimming on the top there before I weld that one in, but that's what they kind of look like. And eventually I'll probably cap these ends, but I'm not going to worry about it this time just because I'm trying to get this thing done for the October race. So yeah, hopefully it'll be alright, and we'll go from there. Alright, so let me show you what I came up with the radiator mount. So I had some old box tube from the 4-link kit, but so I just cut it in half so it'll fit over the radiator like so, and it's actually, you know, goes on the bottom, so it'll go like that. But I was worried. I cut these and then I got thinking that's probably going to bend going down the road, so cut a bigger piece just to give it a little more substance. So the plan is for it to go like yay and then yay. So, and then I'll do that on both sides, and then hopefully that'll hold the radiator. I don't know, it's going to be quite a bit of weight on this guy holding the intercooler and the radiator, but I also have the upper bar. So I'm not 100% sure that'll work because it's going to be a lot of weight on these two down bars, but you know, they're bolted to the intercooler, which the intercooler is bolted to the top bar, which is bolted to other stuff. So I'm thinking it's going to be okay. We're going to give it a shot, and we'll definitely keep an eye on it. And you know, I'll make me a mount off of these guys up here also to mount the top of the radiator to keep it in place. And I think we're going to give it a shot, and then if we have to end up redoing it, we will. And my plan is to get some, I have an old bicycle inner tube around, so I'll line this in rubber, so that way the radiator is riding on rubber versus, you know, metal, because that would just wear a hole in it down there. But hopefully this will work, so we're going to give it a shot. Should be an easy solution, you know, and that's what we're after right now, just because I got to get this thing done. I'm not going to say it's not some of my best work, but the radiator is mounted, so we'll see how that holds up. I think it should be sturdy enough, you know, because I mean, we'll see. I don't know, but I gotta go find my inner tube and cut it, and more importantly is I gotta start practicing my aluminum welding, because I need to get my fan mounted to my radiator, and I need to weld some studs onto my radiator for that. Alright, so pulled the intercooler and radiator out and got my radiator mounts final welded. So you can kind of see it just comes off the bottom bar there, and it'll support the radiator and the intercooler there, and same thing on this side, and it goes up to this. I may end up triangulating this just to make it a little stiffer, you know, because it is a lot of weight hanging out here, so I might triangulate that. But we'll see if I think it's too vibrating. The plan is, you know, when it comes time to change the motor out, we'll just be able to unbolt. We'll have to cut this bar. You know, the first time we'll cut this, and then this will all just come off. And unplug the headlights and whoop, come out, and then the engine comes out nice and easy. Don't have to lift it high. And hopefully we don't do that a lot, but you know, it's junkyard LS's, so they will break. But anyway, we're gonna get back at it. I'm gonna get this stuff painted, and then we'll put it back together. And then I probably will put on the headlight buckets, the trim bezels, and the grill, just to make sure all that fits decent and looks nice, and we'll go from there. So I went ahead and got everything painted up, got the intercooler back on, and went ahead and pushed the car outside. So pushed outside so I can get the doors open. We're gonna get it vacuumed and start doing the wiring harness on the inside. Went ahead, got the headlights, and went ahead and did the bezels and the grill just to see. Definitely need to do a little fine tweaking. It looks good from here, but you get up close, the gaps definitely ain't right. But it's gonna look good, and the bricks are there because I was messing with the bumper a little bit. But still gotta figure out a bumper mount. We'll get all this junk cleaned out and vacuumed up, and then we'll start doing some wiring. Thanks everybody for watching, if you're still watching. And so this video was kind of hit and miss, just because I was also working on the electrical while I was doing the radiator mount. Decided to make it into 2 different videos just because it kind of flows better that way. And you know, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and drop me a comment if you think my radiator could fall out or not. I'm still on the fence if I think it is. So anyway, we'll talk later.